Chapter 5. Terminating Non-Disclosure. When we arrived at Randy's unit, we noticed that his wife and son were still gone. That was great because now we could get to the bottom of this without any distractions. We knew it was wrong not to immediately return the containers to the owners, but it was much too exciting for us not to take a tiny peek inside. On the outside, the containers read, "Very important content, June 6, 2189, creation of content." The English part of it was very clear, but the date was 11 years into the future. We all scratched our heads in confusion. There were, at the time, very intensive studies about time travel going on, but no solid confirmations of success. We were all getting worried that whatever was inside may be dangerous. Randy said, "I have just a thing for situations like this. Let's take them into my work module." In his work module, Randy had something that reminded one of an old airport metal detector under a plastic cover. He uncovered it and told us to sit the container between two tall metal poles. He turned on some switches on the side of it and said, "This is a material analyzer. It will tell me what kind of materials we are dealing with here from the outside all the way to the core." A long readout popped up on a digital display. There was a list of elements which Randy read out loud. First part, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine, sulfur. Second part, manganese, nickel, molybdenum, chromium, etc. Okay guys, it's been a while since I've studied, but I believe we are dealing with mostly plastic parts, small electronic parts, and a little bit of crystal material and some steel. Ron looked sad after that and said, "Oh, no diamonds or gold?" Then a hopeful smile lit up his face and he said, "Hey, maybe it's tag data." Tag data is the information a person could save in various forms about their creditworthiness. People could save their own personal tag data outside the bank system for later use, similar to having a safe in the olden days. "I don't know," said Randy, "but if I'm correct, it shouldn't be too dangerous to open up." So we began to feel around and see how to open up the things. They were shut tight, and we couldn't find a lock or a lever or anything. We had been trying about half an hour with crowbars and everything else we could find, with no success. Suddenly, Randy's electrodoc drove by looking all busy, and Randy shouted, "That's it! Electrodoc, come!" The robot drove into the module we were in and parked in front of Randy. "Electrodoc, repair," he said, and pointed at the container. The AI mechanic turned around and just stood there for a couple of seconds as if it didn't understand the command. It then started to extend its camera lens and scanned the container with some sort of infrared light. It stopped, retracted its camera lens, turned around, and drove away. We all just watched in amazement. Then, we all just sat there on the floor and waited to see what it was going to do. We could hear it driving around in Randy's workshop, rustling through stuff as if it were looking for something. It came back a few minutes later with a can of oil parked in front of the container, and in its computer voice said the command, "Open." The container instantly made a clicking noise and a noise like air pressure escaping. The top started to rise slowly, like an elevator on two slim metal poles. Between the two poles, suspended magnetically, was a small, transparent, cube-shaped container. Inside appeared to be a collection of delicate crystal hologram projection slides. Once the top was done rising, the robot sprayed the two poles with the oil and said the command, "Close," and drove away. The box did just that. It reversed the whole process. We all looked at each other in astonishment, and Randy said, "Open," with a dumbfounded grin.